So here we are again for another little trip into Tony's world. I'm a big Green Bay Packers fan, so today what I'm going to do is recap the last few weeks for the Packers. It's been a big couple of weeks. Started off with the sad news of the passing away of Bob Harlan on the 5th of March. He was the chief executive and president for many years and pretty much universally accepted as an all-round good guy. He was very instrumental in rebuilding the Packers from what was a pretty disastrous 1980s. As president, he came in, he renovated Lambeau, extended. As you know, Green Bay is quite a small market, so without the extra money coming in from a renovated Lambeau Field, they were in dire straits, especially during the pre-cap era. So he's instrumental in rebuilding Lambeau. He added the atrium, he built the Don Hutson Centre, but most importantly, he appointed Ron Wolf as chief executive and for the first time really separated the ball and the business side of the Green Bay Packers and turned the Packers into the modern successful organisation that we see today. So after that, we've gone into free agency. It's the period of the time when players become available. You have a legal tampering period for a couple of days and then the league season starts and we can see some moves getting made. So we lost some players, we gained some players. We started off free agency with a bit of a cap deficit. So to create some cap room, we traded Rashan Gary. Sad to see him go, but he didn't have his best season last season. Still very stout against the run, but 7.5 sacks came earlier on in the season and were very much a product of Micah Parsons creating havoc and walking players into him. Towards the end of the season, their numbers dropped off. So to receive a 4th round draft pick next year of the Dallas Cowboys, when we were more than likely going to cut him anyway because he had a very high cap number, a very big contract. Thank you, Jerry Jones, again. Thank you, Jerry Jones. We also cut Elgton Jenkins, another really good servant for the Packers. No goal left guard, played centre last year, didn't get to his usual standards. Again, struggled for much of the year, and in the end of season ending injury finished him off. But he again was another cap casualty because he had a very big contract coming this year that we didn't want to pay. So Elton was released. We also cut Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs was brought in free agency last year. Very quickly, I think the Packers realised that Javon Bullard was much better slot corner than Nate Hobbs. When he brought him in, he thought he could play on the outside. He clearly couldn't. And again, with a decent sized contract, it was time to say goodbye to Nate Hobbs. He restructured Xavier McKinney's contract. We were never getting rid of Xavier McKinney. Pushing his money out a bit further in a restructure, and maybe in the future we might see a bit of an extension as well. But for now, it was a restructure which saved some cap money, and he also restructured our other signing from last year, Aaron Banks, our other free agent signing. He had quite a big cap number, and he restructured his contract and created more cap space. So, how do we use that cap space? Well, we've had some sort of medium-sized signings. I don't think they were going to go all in with big signings. Really, I mean, according to Over the Cap, after the restructure, they had 30 million cap space. He could have went for a big one, but I think looking into the future, we've got big players coming up for contract negotiations that we're going to have to pay. Christian Watson, Kraft, maybe even Jaden Reed. These players are going to have to get paid in the future. So we need a little bit of cap room, and you need room as well for your obviously for your draft class and for a little bit of breathing room during the year. I mean, let's not forget as well, after the draft, there'll be players getting cut as well, so you get like a second wave of free agency. So it's best not to spend all your money all at once. But using the cap space that we did have, we've brought in Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle, on like a 2-year, $23 million deal. Obviously, great for the Eagles when on their run for the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Played under our new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. before. He got the best out of him in Philly. Let's see if he can get the best out of him again. He's on the older side now, but I think he's still got quite a bit of juice. At Minnesota, he probably was a bit underutilised last year. He also brought in an interesting one in Benjamin St-Juste, cornerback, 2 years, 10 million, bargain. Had his best season of his career so far, still relatively young. Played really well for Washington last year. Not as a starter, but we played a fair few snaps and he looked very good. So I think he's probably an upgrade on Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon. But them three can battle out for 2 places from the summer camp, and we'll see how we get on. No doubt we'll probably draft a couple of corners as well. That's the way Guti tends to do it. Also brought in Sky Moore for around 4 million. Sky Moore, for the first time in a long time, we've got a genuine punt returner, kickoff returner. We've really helped the special teams this year. We also re-signed Sean Ryan at centre. That's looking at the centres that were available. There were none that were much better than Ryan, and certainly not for the amount of money that we got him for, which was 3 years, 33 million. Bargain. I think he's an ascending player. He'll get better. Gives us continuity in the centre position. Other notable signings, well, a lot of our own ones are re-signings. Bo Melton comes back, cornerback wide receiver. Kamal Haddon, who finished the season on injured reserve, he's back at corner. Donovan Jennings on the offensive line. Jonathan Ford, who we drafted, sent to Chicago and brought back last year. Defensive tackle, nose tackle. We probably need to get a nose tackle in the draft, but Jonathan Ford's there. Josh Wiley, a tight end he really like, brought in last year. Pre-draft visit to the Packers a year or so ago as well. So you tend to bring these players in that they have in for visits. Brenton Cox, defensive end, again a lot of potential. Christian Welch, linebacker, special teams ace. Darian Kennard, easy swing tackle, done a good job when called upon last year. Again, vital squad player. Let's keep that going. Nick Neiman, linebacker, another special teams ace, really good. Probably him and Christian Welch might be battling it out to see who gets on the practice squad and who gets on the game day team. And one I really like is Chris Brooks. He's last year he was probably our third choice running back. Dependable runner, very good blocker. Bit of insurance for Jordan Love. So the player's gone, as we've said before. We're looking at Rashan Gary, Hobbs, Jenkins. Also, a lot of players came up for free agency that we didn't re-sign. But I mean, the upside of this is some of the players that have left and have joined other teams. That gets us comp picks next year. So I think we'll have a good selection of picks next year. Come the draft, we still won't have our first round pick, but we'll have ammunition to get in the first round if we need it, due to the fact that Romeo and Dobbs went to New England, Quay Walker went to the Raiders, Rasheed Walker went to the Panthers. Bit disappointing that one. He only went for, I think it was 10 million a year. We expected a lot more. Would have got us a much bigger compensatory pick next year. Kingsley Enagbari went to the Jets, and Malik Willis. Obviously, we're also sad to see Malik Willis go. Excellent backup for Jordan Love, but he's good enough to start, isn't he? So he's gone to the Dolphins to rejoin Jeff Hafley and John Eric Sullivan, who is their GM. So after all that, according to Over the Cap, we still have 8 million in cap space left. So there's still room for signings if we decide we need to bring any in. I would imagine any main signings now will be after the draft, and they'll get an idea of what they need to round out the team. I say there's players with contracts coming up next year, notably Kraft, Watson, Reed, and Wicks. I would imagine they'll at least go re-sign Kraft and Watson. Whether they've got enough money left to sign Reed and maybe Wicks, debatable. So in other moves, Cam Acord came in as the new special teams coordinator, replacing Rich Bisaccia. He should benefit from the likes of Neiman, Welsh, Melton, Brooks all being signed up, and especially Sky Moore. So with that, there's a couple of weeks now till the draft. I'll probably do another video pre-draft. maybe one post draft as well. In the meantime, I'm going to be bringing a few videos out for mainly English people that watch the NFL but haven't got much clue what's going on. So a bit of NFL for beginners, a few short videos just to explain the rules, the positions, the scoring system, the draft maybe, a few different things. But yeah, so if you like the video, subscribe, like, do your YouTubey things, and I'll see you on the next one.